So what if you could actually generate revenue without all the pressure and the fear and the manipulation that, let's be honest, most people think of when they hear the word sales? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. We're going to master the art of guiding decisions, building real confidence, and just completely reframing your entire approach to this craft.
Okay, this right here, this single sentence is the foundation for everything we're about to cover. If you can really get this, you have the key. Forget about pressure. Our entire focus is on clarity and on certainty. That's the principle that's going to guide us through this whole thing.
So, to help you really master this new approach, we've broken it down into 5 key areas. We're going to start by redefining what sales actually is, and then we'll dive into the psychology that makes this whole method so powerful. From there, we'll get practical. We'll talk about the mechanics of a conversation, tackle money and objections, and then finally, we'll focus on what is absolutely the most important element, your mindset.
Ready to challenge what you thought you knew about sales? Good. In this first section, we're going to tear down all those old, ineffective models and build a new, professional framework right from the ground up. You know, when most people hear the word sales, they immediately picture some high-pressure tactic where the goal is just to convince someone to do something they don't really want to do. Let's be crystal clear about this. That is not what we're about. That old-school approach is amateur, it's ineffective, and it's completely unnecessary.
So, what is sales, really? It's about service. It's not about selling. It's about helping people find clarity, showing them a better path, and then just making it simple for them to take the next step. See, we are not in the business of trying to create desire. We are in the business of connecting people with solutions they already need.
And this is where we see a huge, fundamental shift in identity. Think about it. Are you a chaser, frantically pushing, desperately trying to convince someone? Or are you a guide, calmly leading, listening, and creating clarity? The choice is yours, but only one of those paths leads to trust, to authority, and to real long-term success.
Okay, now that we've redefined what sales is, let's explore the psychology behind why this new approach is so incredibly effective. When you understand the why, it'll give you the confidence you need to actually put these principles into practice.
Here is a truth that will absolutely change the way you approach sales forever. People do not buy logic, they buy certainty. Your calm, confident energy is so much more persuasive than any feature or benefit you could list. When you project that certainty, you transfer that confidence to your potential client, and that makes it easy for them to trust you and to say yes.
It might seem a little counterintuitive, but true authority, it doesn't come from being loud or aggressive. It actually comes from a place of calm and control. When you just slow down, speak with intention, and you resist that urge to over-explain everything, you project this sense of confidence that just naturally draws people in and makes them want to follow your lead.
Let's talk about objections for a second. For so many people, they are a source of fear. But what if an objection is actually a good thing? It's a signal that the other person is engaged, that they're taking you seriously. It is not a no, it is an invitation to provide more clarity, more guidance.
All right, now that you understand the psychology behind this whole approach, it is time to get practical. In this section, we're going to break down the mechanics of a successful conversation. We'll give you a simple, repeatable framework you can use to guide your clients to a decision.
You see, a successful conversation isn't just a random series of questions, it's a carefully structured flow, and it has 4 distinct stages. We start with discovery, where we're just seeking to understand. Then we move to clarity, where we present a solution. Next is alignment, where we make sure it's a perfect fit. And then finally, we arrive at the decision, which, if you've done this right, should feel like the most natural and logical next step.
I cannot stress this enough. You cannot skip these steps. The moment you try to jump from, say, discovery, straight to decision, you create the very pressure we're trying so hard to avoid. Patience is your greatest asset here. By just following the framework, you build the trust that's necessary to make that final decision feel natural and really collaborative. Okay, it's time to tackle the 2 topics that can cause a little discomfort: money and objections. But by the end of the section, you're going to have the tools and the confidence to handle these conversations with grace, with professionalism, and with a sense of calm neutrality. Let's just talk about money. It is not a measure of your worth. It's not a taboo topic. It is simply a tool. It's a means of exchanging value and facilitating progress. That's it. When you see money for what it is, just a neutral element in a business transaction, you'll be able to discuss it with the confidence your clients need from you.
I know it could be uncomfortable, but hesitating to talk about money, it's a surefire way to sabotage your own success. It signals a lack of confidence, it creates confusion, and it actually erodes the trust that you've worked so hard to build. But on the other hand, when you just state your price with clarity and conviction, you send a powerful message about the value you bring.
This quote right here perfectly captures our approach to objections. Remember, you're not a fighter, you're a guide. Your job is not to argue or defend, it's to listen, to understand, and to gently lead your client to a place of clarity and confidence.
We've covered a lot of ground, but we've saved the most important topic for last, your mindset. You know, the techniques we've discussed are simple, but true mastery comes from cultivating the right internal state. This is not about putting on a performance. It's about genuinely embodying the principles of a confident and effective guide.
To help you stay on track, here are 4 non-negotiable rules for your mindset. No chasing, no convincing, no desperation, and no emotional swings. Just think of these as your guardrails, keeping you on the path to becoming a true guide.
And to help you continue on this journey, we've put together a list of core resources that will reinforce all the concepts we've covered. You know, from Natalie Dawson's insights on calm authority to the powerful lessons on money in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, these resources will give you the ongoing support you need to really master this approach.
So how do you make these principles a part of your DNA? We recommend a simple 3-step daily practice. Before each conversation, just take a moment to ground yourself. During the conversation, focus on a neutral, unhurried delivery. And then afterward, take a moment to reflect and hold yourself accountable. It's a simple practice, but it is the key to long-term success.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final question that will serve as your compass on this journey. Did I guide or did I chase? It's not about winning or losing. It's about conducting yourself with integrity, with clarity, and with confidence. The framework is yours. Now go put it into practice.